Hey everyone, welcome back to Legends of Podcasting. I'm Stuart.
I'm Ross.
And I'm Rob.
And we're here for a bit of a different video today. We have seen Spider-Man No Way Home. Some of us twice.
That's just, well,
I wasn't feeling very well. I'm fine now. You're not going to sneeze again, are you? Jesus.
You get bit by a spider?
Yeah, I keep trying to, but it doesn't happen. So yeah, we're going to do a sort of review, but also we never watched the trailers. Mm-hmm. We didn't want to be spoiled about what's going to happen. So we're also going to watch two of the trailers that got released and see what was spoiled in those trailers that we actually saw first time in the film, probably freaked out about. So
I suppose I should probably preface it by saying what we've... Because I know you got spoiled for a couple of things, even though I tried to spoil and I did as well. So say those.
Yeah, we'll do those up. So we'll start off. I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the trailers. Mm-hmm. Then we'll do a review. I don't even want to do a non-spoiler review because all I'm going to say is it was great. Move on.
I think there's a lot of people I've seen online talking about this. It's very hard to talk about this film without talking about what's in the movie.
Exactly.
I'm assuming by now most people have seen it.
Yes, well, let's put this thing right up the front before we start watching the trailers. This is going to be a spoiler review, 100%. Put spoilers big on the screen right now, flashing, about to explode sign. So if you're going to watch this review and you haven't watched Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home, just
go
stop.
Watch it first.
Go away, subscribe, then go away, and then come back, because this film has got so much in it that you should not be spoiled about. And that's why I'm really pleased that we have managed to avoid almost everything.
Yeah.
Bar a couple of things. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, oh god, I can't wait to talk about it. I've been wanting to talk about this for a week. I saw it like 4 or 5 days ago. And we haven't seen each other since. So, yes. So, I think what we'll do is let's start off with like what we saw first, and then we'll watch trailers. So, yeah, I saw through the lovely thing that they call social media, a picture of Dr. Octopus.
Yes.
When he's on the bridge. So sort of bit where he comes through the smoke, and you sort of see him. There's a picture in there, and I also saw a picture of a pumpkin bomb on the.
I didn't see
on the
that.
road.
I got the.
The two things I saw. That's all I saw about this movie. Nothing else.
It was a Facebook group post. I think it was even one of the Hot Toys groups, and it was just a GIF of the claw coming up through the thing.
Okay.
Like, well, that's Doc Ock's claw. Fucking brilliant. So I've seen that now. Great. Yeah. The other thing I saw that got spoiled for was literally a week before we went to the cinema. I had to use Facebook Messenger for a group call. So I opened Facebook up because I've now installed it on there, the individual Messenger app, because I don't want it to happen again. But I opened it up and it was a big picture of Green Goblin and Willem Dafoe side by side, and the title was Willem Dafoe talks about how Norman Osborn is different in this version of the film. I was like, you fucking... I hadn't seen the pumpkin bomb thing, so I didn't know.
You thought
I didn't know he was going to be in the movie, and it was literally just like Norman Osborn talks. It's like, honestly,
I know. I mean, the only other things we got rumoured about was like Andrew Garfield denying he was in the movie.
But then everyone was asking him. If you look at all there's a few clips I've seen on YouTube. Like every time Andrew Garfield's been asked in press junkets, he has 3 films out this year. Every time he's been interviewed about any of those films, someone's asked him, and he's had to try and turn it down. And fair play to him for trying to turn that.
Yeah, no, definitely
continue to turn that.
100%. So
he's probably got a Marvel sniper.
Someone just knifing his back. You say anything, I'm going to kill you. So yeah,
I didn't see anything. So in case I'm doing something.
Yeah. So I say it was very minimal stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm quite curious to say is that we got the teaser trailer and the sort of main official trailer of No Way Home. We're going to watch now, react to it. I mean, and then mostly probably whinge and bitch about how much they spoiled the film. Not going to lie, guys. It's going to be more of a where the fuck is that in the trailer? That was also kind of moment. So it's going to be interesting to find out what you guys think of this, because it's a kind of a different way of watching a trailer because we've already seen the movie. So yeah, I mean, you want to watch the first one?
Yeah, let's jump on the first one.
All right. Do you do a countdown?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're starting the teaser trailer in 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, Doctor Strange is in that immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. This is a good one. Some suggest that Parker's powers include the male spider's ability to hypnotize females.
Stop, come on. Yes, my spider lord. Can we just stay up here all day? It is so crazy down there.
That's right, folks. Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker.
Listen, I did not kill Mysterio. The drones did. The drones that are yours.
Yes.
Does any part of you feel relieved about all this?
What do you mean?
Now that everybody knows, you don't really have to hide or lie to people.
For the record, I never wanted to lie to you. Like, how do you tell someone that you're Spider-Man?
I don't think that line was in the film.
This isn't about me. This is hurting a lot of people. I've just been thinking about how to fix all of this.
Well, she gives the whole story away.
So, Peter, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I'm sorry to bother you, sir.
Please, we saved half the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
That feels weird, but I'll allow it.
When Mysterio revealed my identity,
There's the black suit.
I got screwed up. I was wondering if maybe you could make it so that he never did.
Okay, that's a new line.
That spell. It's too dangerous. Fine. I won't.
That's different.
That's different.
Totally
Totally
different, yeah.
Our world is about to forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Wait, everyone? Can't some people still know?
That's not how the spell works.
So MJ's gonna forget about everything we've ever been through?
Stop tampering with the spell.
Oh my god, Ned, he's my best friend. Oh, my animation really good talk.
She'd find out the whole reason right here.
Yeah.
What just happened?
We tampered with the stability of space-time. Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little. The problem is you trying to live two different lives.
It's like the first half of the film.
The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
That's probably what it is.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
That's the clip I saw.
Do you see him? Oh, you do.
Yeah, it's a picture as well.
So that does give away a fair amount of the plot.
It's where the first
I mean, you can understand why they've done it, because that would intrigue you to think, oh, I want to go and see what fucking happens there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the first minute was sort of like, oh, this is the aftermath of the second last film.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
okay, fine, I can
Makes sense, yeah.
see that. And then you go to Doctor Strange.
And he explains sort of what happened, it breaks the spell, and then multiverse
Yeah.
happens.
I mean, if you're paying attention to that, you quite clearly see the electric and the sand, and put together the Electro and Sandman might be in there.
Maybe.
I mean, it's easy to say, isn't it, once you've seen the movie? But
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been just lightning.
But it's like even he says, like, you know, we don't even know anything about the multiverse. You're like, okay, right, so it's the multiverse.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been so much nicer to know.
I'm just seeing if they actually gave away that Aunt May dies in the trailer.
No, they didn't.
No, that would just be too much.
Yeah, that's what I was, no, it's, yeah, it's like they've cut it. They've cut.
Yeah, it's too blurry to see who else
Yeah,
there.
okay, good,
Yeah.
fine. I saw that. I was like, no way. They obviously, like, if someone's still framed
Yeah.
that, they could have worked it out.
That's the thing, they must know that people are going to do that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when
Oh yeah. People do all the time. They do every single pixel of the shot.
So it's like the dialogue change here for the Doctor Strange part.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
yeah.
Wong's like, don't do the spell. And
Because,
Doctor-
oh, I won't.
I'm going to do it anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
it's completely different in the film.
Yeah, I think I prefer the film version of being
I
like.
don't know. Does it have it, and they've just cut it cleverly to make it a different thing?
Well, he doesn't do the wink thing because he remembers.
He does wink at him.
Does he?
Yeah.
He winks at it, but it's like it's after he said to Wong, like, oh, can we please do it for him, because he's gone through so much. And
Yeah,
Wong's
do
like,
you remember
okay.
that part? He goes, no,
Yeah.
exactly. Like that bit is what makes it better.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, do it, but leave me out of it.
I think it
It's
is
like-
the same. They've just cut it in a different order and made it
Okay.
seem like it's. Yeah, we won't do it, wink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, he gives away Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus, and the sort of beginnings of the plot of like him wanting to get everyone to forget everyone he's Spider-Man. So yeah, not loads, but
It's not loads, but you can piece together. Well, especially, I don't think you knew Doctor Strange was in the film, did you?
No.
So
I avoided everything.
I know nothing. Interesting. Okay.
well, it's not terrible. But I mean, yeah, like you say, that gif of the claws coming out of the.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they put it on the poster. It's really hard to avoid.
I can see why everyone was hyped for the movie.
I can understand throwing that in the end is going to get people talking. Like, oh my god, it's he's back. Is Norman Osborn going to be back? Yeah, fine. Yeah, okay. It's like you say, I still would have liked to have.
It's Spider-Man. People are going to go and see it anyway.
I'd like to have seen that for the first time in the cinema.
Yeah. even if the trailer was just like him dealing with being outed as Spider-Man, and then avoid everything else, but then he wouldn't have any action, so that'd be difficult. Yeah, okay, all right. We'll try and watch the other one.
Yeah, we'll see what the other one throws up.
The full official trailer. Gonna go in 3, 2, 1, play.
I'll just show all the villains.
There's 3 of them.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week where my life has felt normal. That was when you found out.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man, we started getting some visitors. From every
Just show
universe.
one.
Hello, Peter. You're not.
Oh, shit, that bit as well. That's a really cool bit.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
There are others out there.
The shield and
Turn it back. So, Scooby-Doo this crap.
Change that line.
Your mess. I know a couple magic words myself, starting with the word please.
Please, Scooby-Doo this crap.
what he says in the movie.
Nope.
You're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die fighting Spider-Man. It's their fate. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
Well, actually show the twist in that as well.
Look, there has to be another way.
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe. You're not gonna take this away from me. Peter, you're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
This is almost
Cut out the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all missing.
Yeah.
That fight, at least they did.
Yeah, except for them in. Oh, shit, they showed that moment as well.
Oh my god. That's my favourite moment.
Yeah. 100%.
What's happening? They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
Entire climax.
Exclusively at movie theaters.
Yeah, it's a lot of the third act in there, isn't it?
Spider Monday.
Spider Monday.
Oh, by Miles Morales, what you hit.
Yeah, that's the poster I kept seeing as well.
Don't like that. That showed a lot of the film.
That's what they do though, right?
Yeah.
So they always do in Spider-Man trailers, they show a lot of the story.
I guess you could infer that MJ falling off the platform is his Gwen Stacy moment, and is he going to catch her, is he not? But
Yeah.
as we know from later on in the film, that's not entirely what happens there.
I mean, the good thing is they don't show the other 2 Spider-Man showing up.
Yeah.
But they show all the villains that are in the film.
I guess from taking that from a perspective of what we know about the film, yeah, okay, they if you'd only seen those, you know the villains are coming in, so you know it's going to happen. So you're not expecting, especially because we'll talk about it when we do our review. The other 2 Spider-Men don't show up till halfway through the film.
Yeah.
So you could potentially get that far and go, oh, they're not going to be in it. They're not going to be in it, and then they show up.
Yeah.
So it's just that'd be a nice surprise.
Yeah, true. So it's just a lot. I mean, watching the film and seeing Electro and Sandman, I was like, holy shit! They're like bringing everyone. I thought they were just going to bring in like the Tobey Maguire villains. I didn't realize they were going to bring in like Andrew Garfield's ones as well. Such a shock. And like they even go with like that whole. There's loads of the bit with the black suit in it, which I kind of understand why Hot Toys have released it now. But it's just like all that is the suit inside out. Like, it's not even a new suit, so it's like.
I think it makes me laugh about that suit is the whole reason why he's turned it out because he can't get the green goo out.
Yeah.
But he's quite happy to wear it inside out of the goo inside. And all
Yeah,
his
touching him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it
But he
matter?
still looks cool.
Does it matter when it's on the
I mean,
outside?
he's going through a zone where no one's ever going to see him.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, very true. But,
I am glad I didn't watch the trailers. No.
yes, no, yeah, massively. So, I mean, like, I think all the moments we watched in the cinema for the first time, that were in that trailer, like that massive moment. I know obviously the other two are in it when he's jumping into the and having the final fight on the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
no idea.
Or Doctor Strange there as well, sort of going, because I think you said it years ago, Ross, that you're watching in Avengers. And in the trailer, you'd seen Hulk catch Tony, but we hadn't seen that halfway through the film until right at the end. It's that's where it's going to come in. If you hadn't seen Doctor Strange show up for the entire of the final fight, you'd be wondering where he is because you've seen the trailer.
Yeah. Why is he not standing up on the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Yeah,
it's like
trouble is, I understand why they make trailers to make people go and see a film, but
this would be a hill I die on as well. It's a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
you're gonna go watch it.
Exactly. It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it'd be interesting to hear from people that avoided the trailers, or people that saw the trailers and went into the film. Like, we'd be like, oh, I wish I didn't see that. I wish I didn't see this. I wish I didn't see that. Oh well, that was cool. Anyway, let's start reviewing.
Hell yeah.
I got a big old list of stuff.
All right, well, you lead the conversation.
I mean, there's a lot.
Oh, wow, okay.
we'll like, I guess we never have a good structure with these reviews. So I mean, like, let's sort of talk through the movie, but not in detail because I'll be here for 2 hours. But like I'd go through the movie and then bits we didn't like. So obviously, it opens up as the trailers show exactly where the last one finished with him being outed as Spider-Man, and then got that cool scene of him sort of grabbing MJ and like swinging around and being like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Which was pretty cool. I was like,
the one thing I've always wanted from Tom Holland's one is him swing around Manhattan because he never does it, apart from the last 2 minutes of the last film.
Yeah.
And it's just seeing him there was awesome. Swinging around, and then you go back and watch Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and I remember watching that for the first time thinking, this is amazing, but it's so shit compared to what they do now. Like, just the little bits of him. I love it when he comes out of the sewers and then he webs the top of it back up and he goes, sorry about this, because he's going to have to make it swing again, and he swings off the lamppost and it just bends a little bit because of the weight, and it's just so good. It just makes me believe that someone's swinging around New York. I love it.
Yeah, well, it's things like that, like in the sort of older films, that bit would have been like a big scene. Like, he's swinging, this is going to be a big moment in the film, and they're like, in the new Spider-Man films, it's just second nature. Like, he's just like, he's swinging like he always does. It's not a big deal, kind of thing. You just sort of expect it now. But yeah, the sort of whole first 10 minutes of him being like, you're Spider-Man, being arrested by the sort of like hiding it from May and stuff, like everything. That was quite funny.
The Department of
Clean up department,
correction straight up, and
I want to know how that guy though knows that Nick Fury's been off-world. How the fuck does he know that?
Don't know. Unless it's like it's open, like
but the whole point of the skulls were there to cover up, so nobody fucking knew.
Yeah.
How does he fucking know?
That's true.
Did I watch the last movie?
Maybe he's a Skrull as well.
Yeah,
maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, but why would he reveal it?
Well, maybe it's more just a question, Peter Parker, I guess. Although if he was a Skrull, he'd be like, "I know, we know you're a good guy. Don't worry about it. It's all good."
I mean, that first part of the film, I was quite enjoying with the I no longer have to worry about having a secret identity.
Yeah,
I can try and get on with my life, but with everybody, and they kind of wrap up the ramifications quite quickly when they need a lawyer to help him out.
Probably my favourite moment of the film. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Matt fucking Murdock.
Bringing Matt Murdock in as Charlie Cox. Matt Murdock.
I mean,
I think I shouted, "Oh shit!"
You did,
yeah. I think I did as well. I think I went that to you. I was like, "What the fuck? It's him!"
As soon as that Kane walked in,
I
was like, "No, it can't be." And then he just.
I think we all said it when we'd seen the film, being like, "Well, he needs a lawyer. You should call." Like, as a joke.
I like everyone online has been saying that. It's like, "Oh, you're gonna need a lawyer."
They even say it in the last episode of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a lawyer.
Yeah, and the fact we watched the episode 5 of Hawkeye where Vincent D'Onofrio shows up as Kingpin. And then we went and saw the film the day afterwards, and Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock. I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's when he catches the brick.
Yeah, I'm a really good lawyer.
Yeah. And doesn't Peter like try and catch it as well? But he catches
it.
So he's faster than his spider sense.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, he's closer, so he was going to catch it, but he got in the way. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so well done. Like, just like 2 minute scene with him being like, "Yes, Matt Murdock exists in the MCU, and yes, it's still Charlie Cox," was just like,
it's everything you wanted.
Fuck yes, and I hope they bring him into the. I say there's rumours he might be in the She-Hulk show, but even the Echo show, like whatever.
Just bring him in everything.
Just have him as a thing for now, and then maybe
anything set in New York. Just have him.
Why not? And why is he not in the Hawkeye show? I mean, awesome. But anyway, we just watched the finale and he wasn't in it.
Well, it's a Hawkeye show, and you don't want to take that
away from being.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an awesome moment. But as you say, sort of gets over that. He gets released and then goes back to school and got that. Well,
but it's not the same because everyone's still.
Yeah, I love the moment with the teachers being like, "Hey, mate, like we made this thing. Like he made it. He made it. Now the students put it together." Like, and the other guy who's like, "Stuart is right. You're a killer." Yeah. PE teacher. And he's like, walk, swing, club, whatever you want to do. Like the horrors, whatever. It's fine. It's like, it was great. It was a very funny moment.
And that obviously leads to him wanting to try and because that leads to him being rejected from MIT, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As well as Ned and
and sort of realising that he's fucked up everyone's lives, and it's not their fault just because they know who he is. You knew who he was before, So then he makes him go to the see Doctor Strange, which looks like from we just watched the trailers. Most of it that's in the trailers anyway, so it wouldn't have been a surprise to most people. But I was pretty fucking surprised Doctor Strange was in it, so it was pretty cool. He was in it quite a lot as well. I didn't think, and like there's even the whole action scene when they fought each other, and that kind of stuff. He's in it for quite a lot.
They did a similar thing to Iron Man in the first Spider-Man movie, where the trailers made it like he was going to be part of the whole film.
Yes,
he's only in it for a little bit. They found a way to basically write him out after they did the fight.
Yes, the whole fact that it's a spell that he said, we can do it,
but
and then he fucks the spell.
Fucks it massively.
He fucks the spell up. So I was watching someone else review it. Watching some other reviews and someone pointed out that he says it when he's doing it. And he's like, "What about Ned?" He goes, "What's a Ned?" And he grabs something and looks at it like really weird. And obviously later on, Ned has powers. So I don't know if that was some sort of hint to. He's like, "What's a Ned?" Because he looks really confused about it. Like when he grabs it and spins it around.
He's quite like, "Oh, what about Happy?" No, I'm really annoyed.
yeah. No, Happy's a person. That's okay. It's just a bit after that as well when he's like, I get it, right? You did give it. You phoned them up. They didn't. You can phone them up. You didn't phone. You wanted me to change the whole universe.
That's part of the underlying plot of this whole film is Peter stepping out and learning to be an adult. I think. So it's like,
exactly. So so we had that whole intro bit, which is great, and then I guess the next big moment is when he goes to try and get the woman from MIT to
at least get Ned and MJ back.
Yeah, MJ. He's not even about himself, and then suddenly have the Dr. Octopus freaking tentacles come out.
Yeah.
Oh, and that awesome fight.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it when that tentacle came out.
Yeah, you didn't know, did you? Obviously,
I lost my shit. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't.
Did you know it was going to be that guy? Or do you think it was just going to be a new Dr. Octopus?
I thought it was going to be a new one, yeah. When I saw it, I thought, they're introducing Doc Ock. And then I was like, in my head going, well, how the hell has he just come about? They're going to go to a preview, like how he got the tentacle, and then it turns out to be what's his name?
Alfred Molyneux.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And then I just instantly went straight to my head, that's multiverse. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Because seeing Loki and Wanda and stuff. And then obviously I know the next title of Doctor Strange.
Yes.
It's great seeing updated CGI on the tentacles and
just being able to do a lot more action with them, because I think it wasn't CGI. Well, some of it was CGI back then. A lot of it was actual.
It was limited
per se. So and then the fact that he's got his Iron Spider suit as well, which also has the extra.
Yes. Oh, when he said we got
this is your boys. I was like, it's so good. Yeah. It was so funny.
Pete pinned and he tries to stab him, but the nanotech gets on the arms and then he absorbs the
and
nanotech.
he can control it.
Yeah. I love that because I was like, oh shit, I mean he's super bad. Then suddenly Pete just goes, I'll control them.
Yeah.
I was like,
the device
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That was really cool. And it sort of explains why he doesn't have the Iron Spider suit for the whole film as well, because obviously that's the most powerful suit he's got, but it gets super damaged.
Yeah.
So he can't use it anymore, which was kind of cool.
But he kind of uses it as something else, doesn't he, by controlling Doc?
Yes, So he has a bit of it to control, but
he
has his old suit. But so that was really cool.
But then
Goblin
shows up.
Yeah. But and I was like, oh shit, there's gonna be another fight, and then obviously Strange pulls him back. It's like, you fucking no!
Teaser, yeah.
Which way we find that Strange has captured the lizard from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe.
Yes.
And they're in the undercroft of the mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, so many good moments. So it's just so I don't know if you found it, you guys, when you watched it the second time. It just seemed so quick paced of this has happened, now this is happening. There's no lulls.
The first half an hour is the slow build up of him living with his identity being exposed.
Yeah.
But as soon as Doc Ock shows up, it just starts smashing out the plot points.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Really quickly. There's no sort of he literally gets there and it's just like, right, go and get another one, go and get Electro.
Yeah, Doctor Strange sort of explains that. Yeah, this spell's pulling everyone who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man into this universe.
Yeah.
So you've got to go and get them so we can put it back again.
Yeah, and he gives him his magic web shooter thing to one-shot him into the prison.
Which is where Electro and Sandman come into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is cool. And he has a black suit which is inside out, which is quite cool. Like, so it looks like a whole new suit. Actually, you actually see the wires and shit.
Yeah, sticking out.
Which is pretty cool. That fight's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty quick. I totally didn't even think when sort of Electro's there and he's like, then Sandman protects him, and I was like, wait, what? And he's like, because I was thinking, oh yeah, no, wait, it makes sense because at the end of Spider-Man 3. He was he was a good guy, but he like helped.
He worked with him.
Peter, didn't he? And he's like trying to help. He said, "Peter, what's going on?" He's like, yeah.
I'm not your Peter. What do you mean you're not my Peter?
Yeah. We'll talk about it later. Let's do this.
I think that my favourite thing though about Electro is they copied the Spectacular Spider-Man when he gets charged up. His
mask
old
comes off.
mask gets broke from the electricity.
Yeah, he looks so much better.
Oh, it looks amazing.
It looks so much
and
better.
it was yellow as well,
Yeah.
yellow lightning.
But I like the way it's changed, right? Because the power's different here.
Yeah, that's
So
why it's
it's-
yellow rather than blue.
Yellow, because the blue was such a weird idea. I mean, I guess he was blue in.
Well, it's from the Ultimate Comics.
Ultimate Spider-Man. He was blue.
Yeah.
But it was just such a weird thing to do. But they're making him like sort of giving him his body back, like he has the electrical powers, making him more comic book style was really cool. She had lots of cool moments, just back to back. And then seeing Green Goblin talk to himself.
When he broke that mask, I thought we were going to get a new proper Goblin mask.
Yeah.
I thought, they can make a new one, but he never did.
Even better though, I think William Dafoe's face is like he's like a goblin anyway, right?
When he's grinning and doing the evil.
Yeah, he's so good. Like I think a lot of the film is taking bits from the old films and like being like, that was actually a mistake covering his face for the whole film. We'll break the mask. That was actually a mistake doing this. We'll change that. And it's like,
and he had the purple hood and everything, which was cool.
Yeah, like by the end of it, it was really cool. And he seems so much more evil in this film than he did in the old ones. Maybe because they can get away with a lot more now.
I think they emphasise as well that he is his way, his villain.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, massively. Yeah.
Well, that plays into a bit later on in the film. Yeah, massively so.
Yeah, definitely. And then this little big twist. So we can end up talking about the whole film, but the big twist of like, Strange being like, right, ready to send them back, and Peter's like, he goes, oh no, that when they go back, they all basically get killed by Spider-Man, which doesn't seem to make sense.
Or killed fighting Spider-Man, I think.
Killed fighting Spider-Man, and he's like, wait, what? And then he doesn't want that to happen. So
he says, which obviously you said earlier, which is that we know very little about the multiverse, so we can't really mess around with their fates. We've got to send them back to where they came from, and to do that, I'll have to collapse the spell. Yeah, which is where Pete, you see that cube in the trailer, Pete nicks it.
Yeah, because he wants to try and help everyone, like if he can, which I thought was, I did not see that coming at all. I was just like, oh, they did that really quick, because I thought the whole film was going to be trying to collect them all. And
because he sort of had a talk with Aunt May, didn't he? About she's like, you've got to help,
when Norman shows up,
you've got to help them. That's what you do. Yeah.
The fact that there's no Oscorp or Harry and stuff in this universe as well is quite interesting. Because he said, I looked it up, but there's no Oscorp. Like, I need help. And even him they didn't even try and capture him, put him in prison. He actually like walked him in, and be like, you can help me, kind of thing. He had no idea who actually
I'm
is.
something of a scientist myself.
The callbacks, callbacks are so fun on this film. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, and then the sort of the twist of like Peter being like, "Well, I don't want them to go back and just die. I may if we can help them." And then that whole fight scene with Doctor Strange. Really clever. Again, like you were saying, Ross, about the swinging, all that stuff they did in that fight scene, like when he puts the portal so he's webbed himself, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All this, like, it's just like you don't even think about.
Well, you have Peter's spider sense stopping when he's.
He's moving it around,
astral projecting out the body, and his body's still moving the cube around.
Well, one thing I noticed watching that the second time, which I didn't, because we watched it in 3D, IMAX 3D the first time, 2D the second time, is that when he's out of his body and you see the Peter body, he's got his spider sense tingle thing above his head.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at the motion, it's over his head, and it's like, the spider sense is working, that's why he's dodging it. I didn't notice that the first time.
Tingle.
Yeah. I was like, that's awesome.
That is really cool. No, I have to watch that for next time.
Yeah, when you watch it next time, look out for it. It's quite hard to see, but it is there.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. But yeah,
and they end up in the mirror dimension.
Yeah, but it's just that whole. I mean, like the whole fight. If you think about how much CG and time, it must have taken to do that fight, and it's like not really a. I say it's not an important fight. It is an important fight, but like, it's such a thing that's like you can sort of bypass. But it's such an amazing thing.
The thing as well is like when he comes out of it, first thing he says to MJ and Ned is, I just thought it was strange, and I actually totally won.
Yeah.
Because he thinks, because he's a kid and everything, everyone's so much better than him when he realizes
he's got the confidence.
he is the best. So.
It was so cool. And he literally won by using geometry and science.
Great geometry.
Yeah, maths. It's like, hey, look, you're tied up. Fuck you. It's like,
and that's how they write Doctor Strange out most of the movie.
yeah,
they keep you trapped in the mirror.
which is a good idea as well, because he would have just been arguing the whole time.
Yeah.
You would never have convinced Doctor Strange to change that. So yeah, and they all go out to the apartment, and then you got that great scene of them all sort of in the apartment getting to know each other and stuff. And
Talking about how they, I fell into a vat of electric eels. I fell into a particle accelerator.
Yeah.
A little bit
You
like
need to
that.
really watch out where we fall.
Yeah. I love the way, like, Jamie Foxx, like, when he says it, he seems like embarrassed. He goes, I think he says like 2 or 3 times. He goes, I fell into electric eels. And like it's a really shit origin story. It's like so funny. They sort of, and they, obviously the tech that's in there, and the fabricator, and he actually fixes like Dr. Octopus, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So they sort of reinforce and separate the ship back out again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then he gets the nano comes off of his tentacles and then makes the new suit for Peter.
Yes.
He's thinking, but that moment when he puts the chip in and he sort of
The voices, they're gone.
Yeah, but he sort of stops for ages as well. Like he's killed him or something, and he goes, "Thank you, my boy." Right. And I was just like, that's such a cool moment because you never actually got that in the original. He sort of he sort of overpowered them at the end, didn't he? Before he sacrificed himself, but he was just like, "No, you've really done it." And like even Norman's just like, "No, you're bloody genius." Like, if you ever want to come over to my universe, give you a job.
Yeah, but then the goblin part of him is like, "No, you're going to get rid of me."
Yeah,
takes over.
Yeah, and there's that moment when his spider sense
goes off, and he can't figure out what it is.
He walks around and for ages and looking at each of them, being like,
he's like, "Where's Aunt May? Aunt May's all right." Okay, and then he's scanning,
and then he literally
fires the weapon.
Yeah, it's such a cool moment, and he's just like, and then he turns around, and he's the goblin.
It's goblin again.
So it's a really neat trick.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's face in that is so expressive.
Oh, it's so good. Like that face, like the original Tobey Maguire films when he looks in the mirror and he's got that evil face.
Yeah.
He just does it so well. And then that whole
he gives that whole speech about how we've earned this power, it's ours to play with, we're gods among men, and you're just too weak to accept it. At which point it sort of convinces Electro and Sandman that Sandman only wants to go home.
I think Sandman just wants the box to go home. I don't think he really cares, but like definitely Electro's just like, I want to stay
because he's at that point he's found the arc reactor that's powering the
and he's like,
this is power, I want that.
So. Unlimited sort of power, so that's quite cool. But and the Doctor Octopus is like a good guy now, basically.
Yeah.
And then it starts that whole fight scene off, which is probably one of the most brutal fight scenes between him and Goblin.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I say I've only watched it once, so I'd really need to rewatch it to take it all in, because it was just so quick of them fighting him, and like getting knocked out of windows and then back in, and like then Lizard comes up and like joins the fight.
Yeah.
And just
he throws him back in, then they go through the floors.
Yeah, so when they're going through the floors and like throwing each other against the walls,
shows that they're pretty strong fit, aren't they? Both
Norman just picks him up and power bombs him.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't think you really see. I'm watching Tobey Maguire ones as well. He's pretty strong in the original, but you don't see him that powerful.
No.
The only thing you kind of realise that they're the same strength is when Peter throws a punch at him.
Yeah, and he
catches his thing, isn't he? That's about it.
But like the actual fighting style and stuff is obviously much improved from the older films because they can do so much more with it now.
Yeah. When you've been using CGI properly to enhance the scene rather than make it all.
Just doing it, replacing it all. So that whole.
But while that fight's going on, importantly, Aunt May has taken the devices they've made to and is trying to escape the building.
No, then she gets pummeled. They get pummeled down, then they end up at the bottom.
Yeah, and you got Jameson turns up as well.
Yes, calls the cops on.
Of course he does, because it's Spider-Man. Then you've got that horrible moment when
the glider comes through.
Knocks May down. I was just like,
"What's the line? What's the line that Norman has? He's like, "You're too weak to take what you want, but I'm going to help you with that weakness." And the glider, just comes in and smacks Aunt May to the ground. Yeah.
And the Goblin's trying to teach him a lesson. Yeah. And Peter will not want this lesson to be taught. Basically, he's just like, no, fuck off.
Yeah. And then he throws a pumpkin bomb at her, which Peter just about.
Yeah. And I was like, she's dead, right? She's 100% dead.
Yeah.
And then she gets up, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And then
she sort of stumbles.
And she gives
the line.
At
which point, even I was like, well, she's fucking dead.
Yeah. She gives with great power comes great responsibility, and I was just like, shit, we've
never
actually had. I just assumed that Uncle Ben said that to him.
Some of the other people in the cinema and the audience behind us were like, no. Everyone knows what that means for a character.
I literally just assumed it was Uncle. He dealt with the Uncle Ben death.
Well, you get told, don't you, in Civil War? He goes, if the things that I can do and I don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It was like a twist on the wording to make you think that he'd already learned that.
Yeah.
So,
that, and then I mean, probably one of the most. I'll give Tom Holland props, man. Like when she dies, and he's like, "What are you doing? Wake up! Look at me!"
Yeah,
like, look at me. Like he doesn't believe it. He's like,
it's a very childish kid's reaction,
but it's
isn't
such a moment.
No time to grieve either because the police are on him and they're trying to shoot him.
Yeah, and Happy shows up and like says, "Peter, run!" kind of thing, and he just doesn't want to. And he's like, he's shouting for them to call the fucking ambulance.
Yeah.
And they're shooting at him. I was like, "Oh my god, that is so horrible." I'm thinking about it now. It's just that. Yeah, it was like a minute of him being like not believing she's dead and being like, "No, come on, mate, wake up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wake up. What are you doing? Don't be silly." And like, it's heartbreaking, man. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
That's kind of where the film shifts into a different tone entirely.
Yeah,
because you've had the sort of fun adventure. I say fun adventure. You've had the villains coming in, bit of nostalgia.
It was like it's kind of like a sort of D&D quest thing, isn't it? Go and get the villains, so you can then go and fix them. Like get all the Yeah. And then you've got Ned and MJ trying to find him and find out because Ned can actually do magic.
Ned has some affinity for magic. Yeah,
apparently
he wants to find. Did you say Peter Parker or Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker.
I want to find Peter.
Yeah.
And he opens the portal.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's got his suit on. That's really weird. And I was like, wait a minute.
As soon as I saw the eyes, I knew it was.
Now that's something I was so glad that wasn't spoiled in any of the trailers. And props to Andrew Garfield for keeping that. Every time
there's always been talk about it after the Into the Spider-Verse movie, right? And I thought if they were going to bring him in, it'd be for maybe a cameo, or literally like a moment, like a little glimpse, like through a portal or something.
Yeah, just seeing him through that portal, then the portal closes.
Yeah. But having them in for the
rest of the
last
movie,
half of the film, was so good.
Because I mean, I said to you guys, I don't think I've heard anyone in the cinema in the UK cheer since Cat picked up Mjolnir in Endgame.
Yeah.
And like when Andrew Garfield pulled the mask off, it was like,
it was fucking. I was just so happy.
I didn't even see the rest of the movie. My eyes were just.
And I was just
for context, Andrew's my favourite Spider-Man by a mile.
Yeah, and I mean, I really enjoyed him.
He made a great Spider-Man. He was just in bad films.
Yeah, and every review, like every other reaction I've watched, like Blind Waves, Previews, Real Rejects, Late to the Party, everyone has said their favourite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. And it's quite shocking because like, no one ever really watches those films or speaks about those films because they weren't that great. The fact that he's everyone's favourite Spider-Man, and I've already seen stuff online the past week saying like, again, this could just be clickbait, but there's like petitions being like, give him another movie. Everyone, he redeemed himself because he had nothing to redeem himself for in this movie, but he was so good in this film. He was like him and probably Willem Dafoe were like the shining lights in this movie.
When you see him against the other two, he is miles above them in my eyes. He's so good. And
so why not give him another movie? I mean, he could be the Spider-Man that fights Eddie Brock, like Tom Hardy's Venom, right?
Yeah.
You could put them two against each other quite easy. Make another Sony Spider-Man movie.
That's what I'm thinking.
Keep the Tom Holland one over here, but do like I think Andrew Garfield one.
I said to Ross earlier, I'd like to see if they have the chops to do it, maybe bring Emma Stone back as Spider-Gwen. Have some multiversal shenanigans going around.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the redemption scene later on. But with that having happened, he can then. Two of them can get together.
100%. There's someone's put. I think I sent you guys a picture. Someone's done a photoshopped a picture of them, Emma Stone and him.
Because I was trying to think, how would you bring her into his world if she's dead?
Yeah,
but
multiverse.
I'm just going to say, if we move on to the end of the movie where they say, "Oh, everyone forgets Peter." In her world, Peter doesn't exist.
Yeah,
because he's dead. Because he becomes a lizard and dies.
Yeah.
So she can't forget him because he doesn't exist. So she still remembers Peter. And when all this happens, she gets moved into his world. She's trying to find him, and then everything resets. He goes back to his world, and she's still stuck there.
Yeah,
because she doesn't go back to her world because she can't remember Peter. Yeah. Well, she doesn't have to forget Peter because Peter doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
Yeah, have her as Spider-Man and him as Peter Parker as Spider-Man. It would be an epic movie. And to be fair, with everything they do at the moment, I can't see it not on the
because after Endgame was it? There was a part where they were going to pull Tom out of the MCU, wasn't there?
Yeah, because the contracts.
Yeah, I can't remember what time it was, but then he spoke to them and they were like made a deal.
Yeah.
And it could be that the deal was, okay, you get to keep Tom in the MCU, finish off his story.
Yeah.
Because this kind of has finished him off.
Yeah.
And then they go, right, we'll then make a Spider-Man in our world that we're creating with Venom and Morbius. But it depends on who that Peter is.
But if they see how much love
they might bring it
for
here.
Andrew Garfield.
They might have thinking about somebody fresh. They might have been, oh yeah, we'll keep that. You'll have Tom for these movies.
Yeah.
We'll have him back for ours. Don't know what the contract, but I feel like that was the kind of deal that was made.
Yeah. I would hope Sony is looking at the internet and the world right now, being like, "Oh shit, everyone fucking loves Andrew Garfield. We should give him another movie."
The bonus would be as well, if you're having contractual problems with other Spider-Men, if you bring Spider-Gwen into the live action scene, you've opened up that whole universe to another type of Spider character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massively. And he was so good coming out. Just the whole scene with him and MJ and Ned. When she's like throwing bread, he's like, "Oh yeah, the spider tickle." He's like, "Not for bread,
Not for bread.
Yeah, and he's like jumps on goes and he walks across the wall with the web.
It's like,
and it's like
prove your pedo. I don't carry ID. That defeats the point of a secret identity.
Yeah. And it was just that whole moment. That was really cool. And then suddenly he goes, "All right, well, let's just do it again."
Yeah.
And then fucking
Tobey
Tobey
Maguire
Maguire
comes
walks
through,
through just in normal clothes, being like, "Holy fucking shit, that's amazing!" Like I did not think. I was just like, I was in awe at that moment.
When Andrew was in there, I thought, right, they couldn't get Tobey Maguire back.
Yeah.
Andrew, fine, and then they get Toby in as well.
Yeah,
so.
and just I thought he was in like normal clothes. Like, he's not going to wear his suit. It's really annoying. Like, and
because he teased that for a long time as well.
For most of it, and he also like, well, it kind of gives away. I kind of don't tell people about my secret identity, kind of thing. And
that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, just think. I don't know how much of it is ad libs in between the three of them, but like, and then they sort of like try and web each other. So
I like that Toby went for his web shooters as well.
Yeah,
like he's the veteran.
Yeah,
he goes for the weak spot straight away.
Yeah,
it is weird. Why would you not go for both? But that's a little minor detail.
Yeah, but it's just sort of a moment, and then you got the heartbreaking moment where they find where Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Peter Parker is.
I love the way as well. They're like, has he not got a place where he can go?
Yeah, one's Rockefeller.
One's a Chrysler.
Yeah, Chrysler.
Empire's Sweet View.
Them two together. I mean, Tom, when the three of them two were great, but I think Andrew and Toby. I'd love to know how much they spoke before the movie.
Watching Jeremy John's review of this, and he said they could Willem Dafoe, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, even Alfred Molina, they could all just phone it in for a paycheck, but they bring everything they've got to the table. It's not just a cook.
And what I'd love to see now as well, now the film's been out, is to get, because obviously they can't go on the press tour because it's a massive secret they were in the film, but get Tom, Andrew, and Toby in a room, just do an interview with them and talk about what the film is like, or maybe it's been in the behind the scenes Blu-ray or something. Because I want to see what that conversation is like. I'd love to just see all the behind the scenes fun they got up to.
How much trouble Tom Holland's been in before with reeling stuff when he's being fresh like it's how he had to keep his mouth shut for that.
I mean, he did a good job, man, because that was really, really, really good.
The scene on the school rooftop though is heartbreaking.
Oh, it just gets you. Yeah, this issue went from like Aunt May dying, and it was like, I'm really sad. Then it's like, fuck, Spider-Man, like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and fuck, it's fucking amazing. It's like, sad again. I'm really sad again. Why am I sad? And then it's like,
it's great the way where Tom's like, you don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And Toby's just like, no, when my Uncle Ben died.
Yeah.
And then he's like, when I lost Gwen.
It was my MJ. Yeah. They were like, who's Gwen? That was my MJ. And it's like,
and it's like, I like how quickly Tom's Spider-Man comes to realise that these are him. They're just different versions of him.
Yeah, well, the fact he says that, she said, like, I can't remember why he said, Aunt May said, like, with great power comes great... And then
because he goes to peek, it's like, I'm done with this, and goes to take the box off of MJ, press the button in the spell, and she takes it away from him. And she's like, it's not what May would have wanted. Yeah. And then he says,
Yeah, and then Toby finishes it off, and it's like my Uncle Ben used to say, so she didn't die for nothing. And then you sort of get a little bit of Andrew Garfield as well, because when Gwen died, I went to a dark place and stopped pulling my punches and became really rageful. And I was like, I want to see that film. I want to see him be rageful. Like, and maybe that's why Black Suit goes on doing it for some reason. I'm saying. Because that would be really
cool. Didn't know, because he never met the Black Suit.
I know, but maybe like in his career, like I don't know how long's passed, but that was a really cool thought of him being like, because you never actually see him fight Rhino. I mean, God knows what he fucking did to that Rhino at the end of that film. If he was rageful, it's like, I don't know if I can kill you right now. And then the sort of the thing of like, well, she taught you that lesson, so maybe she didn't die for nothing.
So they decided to try and rebuild the
that whole lab scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the three of them chatting off each other.
It's so funny.
That's definitely my favourite bit in that is when Ned just wheels in.
Yeah.
So you got a best friend?
Yeah. And then he's guiding my arms.
He's trying to kill me.
And then he's like, Yeah. He goes, I never tried to kill you, Peter. Whatever. Yeah. And then the whole like Andrew and again Toby just chatting to each other. And then there's like, Peter, yeah? No, Peter Parker. There's all three of us. He's at the point, the pointed thing, like, they're doing the like, meme. Yeah. They even got the chance for the meme in, was great. And then the bit with, like, was it Tom or Andrew puts their, like, their web shooters on? He's like, wait, what's that? He goes, my web shooter. He goes,
yeah, one of those.
He goes like that. He goes, whoa!
They freak
What
out.
is that?
Is it coming out of you?
Yeah.
So good.
It's like both of them just fucking, like, have so many questions about this. And they obviously get to talk about it later. But that was such a great moment where it was like, I don't use web shooters.
I love the way they addressed it. They didn't just gloss over it.
Yeah. And also he's just like, God, it's really difficult to make and I always run out of really inconvenient
Yeah, I have to go
times.
to a lab. It's really annoying. Do you have a... Yeah, it's so good.
So really good lines.
And then Nez says something, doesn't he? He's like, don't worry, I'll be there, Peter, and I'll never go evil on you. And
Toby said, it's alright, Ed. We
What
get
I love
it.
about that scene is that the three of them have finally found, they're basically same versions of themselves.
Yeah.
Someone they can talk to about their problems.
Yeah, so
Fully,
they have.
fully understands
Yeah.
everything they go into.
Well, even like Andrew Garfield that says later on, I've always wanted brothers.
Yeah.
It's like really cool. Yeah. So and it sets up the last act of the film, which is an amazing act. But yeah, so you guys seen the film, so you know Pete like calls out the bad guys to come to Statue of Liberty, which now has a Captain America shield on.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Which I was like, it's really weird, right? I was like, and I agree. I watched Blindway's reaction, and I totally agree with Eric's thing of that. So why put it up on the torch, right?
You want to put it on the...
You gotta put it on the or put it on the back.
Yeah.
Fucking put it on the back of the leave the book and because they're really important things. Put it on his back. Put it on her back because he apparently I've only ever seen it when I went on the ferry like years ago. But Eric's like, you look at the back of it, it's really boring. And so put Captain America shield on it, look great. 100% agree with you, Eric. That's a great idea. Should have done that. But and obviously you're like, oh shit, this big fight's gonna come up. But then they spend like 5 minutes waiting for them to show up and just have another moment of just chatting again. I'm just like,
Such good dialogue.
I could have a whole movie of you guys just fucking talking to each other. It was so.
You get the little
good.
thing about how who they fought. It's like, I fought a giant alien in space. I fought an alien with black goo.
Yeah.
I just fought a guy in a rhino suit.
Yeah, absolutely lame.
No, you're amazing.
So good. And Toby's like, we need to go back to that space thing though. What's that about? Yeah, it's like, just. They talk more about his web shit. It's like, does it like, how do you make it? Like, does it come out anywhere else?
Because he's like, doesn't he say like,
I've
run out. Do you ever get like a block or anything? Yeah, no, once I did have a block.
Yeah, I love the reference in the other films.
And then when he's like trying to stretch, he's like, I got a problem with my back.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I get back problems as well. Yeah, it's just those moments of like, so funny. It's so funny.
Because when they're talking about his web shoes, they're asking him, they're like, I feel like you're taking the big. And he's like, no, we just can't do that. We're just really interested.
Yeah, really. Let's also he's put the suit back on by then as well. He goes, you've got your suit, and he goes like that.
Yeah.
And it's like underneath, like it is in like all his movies, and he's like, fuck yeah, it looks great as well. I think they've slightly changed it because I don't think the things are as quick.
The symbol looks a bit more raised, rubberized.
Yeah, I didn't think the sort of black web bits were as thick and raised because in his ones they were like quite grey, weren't they?
They were silvery. I think they were, but it's normally because it's only reflected off light because it's at night
dark.
time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, they still look great. They all look so good.
Yeah,
together in that, and yeah, then the bad guys show up and they have a big old fight, and there's some also moments in that fight where they swing round each other.
Yeah. Well, they have problems.
Oh, so yeah, they start to fight. They start to fight, and they realise that they've never fought as a team before, except for Tom.
Yeah,
and he's just like, "Sorry, I've done this before. I was in the Avengers." They're like, "Oh my god, the Avengers! Who's that? Man, that's awesome!" Oh, it's just so really good lines, and like Peter 1, Peter 2, around Peter 3, Peter 3, right? Fine. It was.
And I'm pretty sure when I watched it, it's Tom that webs them up,
pulls them around.
He's in front. And then he pulls them in front.
That scene is now my wallpaper on my work computer.
Yeah, so good. They land on top of the
stage.
And then this whole fight. I mean, we need to go into details of the fight, but like, so many good. Fight is so well done. Again, just webbing around, being awesome without even thinking about it. And you've got sort of callbacks to like the lizard going in the school and tearing up the lab, like in Spiderman, and just so many callbacks to the other movies, which are really really interesting. And then you've got the big moment, which you said earlier was your favourite moment in the film, where like MJ gets knocked off.
I even shouted, Peter 3!
Yeah. and Tom dives to get her, and you're like, oh fuck.
And the goblin knocks him out of the way.
Comes out of nowhere.
And then you see Andrew just look and like go and get her, and then he saves her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he saves her rather than webbing her like he did with Gwen and break her back.
He catches her
and saves her, and he just stands there. And she's like, "You okay?" And he goes, "Are you okay?" And he just starts crying.
Yeah.
I started welling up, man. I was like, fuck, he just redeemed himself
Yeah.
from that
From
mistake
Gwen.
that he's been
Yeah.
thinking about all his life. I was like, beautiful.
So good.
So good.
So at the climax of the fight, Doc Ock shows up and pretends to be evil, but he's actually still.
Yeah, he takes that
I'm guessing
Electro.
one of the things they did when Peter put the new chip on him was reinforce it so it didn't get blown out again.
Yes.
Because he gets shot by Electro.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
nothing
don't know.
happens.
Yeah.
So then they take Electro down. They take down Sandman and
Lizard. Yeah.
Goblin shows up just as they managed to open a portal to Doctor Strange.
Yes,
Ned
he shows up,
brings him
yeah.
in. He's like, hang over the Grand Canyon for 12
Well,
hours.
yeah.
You know, Loki felt for half an hour.
But they managed to show that
His
Peter's
plan's
plan is
working.
working, and
Yeah.
Doctor Strange's like, okay, maybe he's grown up a bit. You know?
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that the scene with Sandman and Little Lizard are shots from the old film
Yeah.
that they've re-CGI'd
Oh, fair
over.
enough.
Because there's the bit where the lizard and he's looking, that is exactly the same scene as the end of Amazing Spider-Man
They've
1.
just taken it off.
They've taken it, they've even
That'd be a shame.
got the original scene. Because it would make sense why they were the Lizard and Sandman all the way through.
Yeah,
Because they didn't have the actors, but
Yeah.
they had that one scene where they could just take it off and
Also,
make it look like it.
second time around watching it, the way they've interspersed the Tom Holland theme, the Danny Elfman, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man theme, and the I can't remember Andrew Garfield's ones like that. They sort of meld as they're fighting individually. Their themes come in and out of each other.
Nice.
I loved it when Tobey Maguire's one landed in front of Doc Ock. So
Yeah,
Peter Maguire, you
grown up. How you doing?
How
He
you
goes,
doing?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
He goes, I'm still. What's the line? It's like, I'm still learning. I can't remember. It's the thing that he said in
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Because he pulls the arc reactor off of Electro,
Electro.
so the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Like, oh, don't do it!
Yeah.
And he just hands it off to Peter. And it's like,
Yeah, I love the way he's a good guy.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
They make it because it's just the arms that were controlling him.
it's all going well until the Goblin shows up and blows up the spell.
Yeah, and the multiverse is unleashed. So you guys seen it a second time, right? So you saw those figures appear in like all the people that know Peter Parker Spider-Man. I saw like a scorpion, a rhino, and I think it was Craven with
I
a
think it was
spear.
Craven's had a spear. Yeah.
Any others you spotted when going for it? No,
No,
it's too quick. I'm
Yeah,
waiting
those
for
ones are like the obvious ones because they're right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah. Interesting to see all the
It's
other
so
ones.
fast to see,
Okay,
and
yeah.
it's not that clear anyway.
No.
So
No, I'm sure someone's going to do like a free frame by frame thing and tell us what they all are. But there's a lot of people that know Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yes.
A lot, apparently, all around the universes. So
Doctor Strange is on top of the saturated. He's trying to close the breaches, but it's too much, and he can't do it.
yeah, that awesome end fight, like final fight with Peter and Green Goblin, which is one of the most brutal fights.
Yeah.
Like there's moves from the computer game in that where he like webs him, knees him,
Yes.
flips him up, body slams him. And then Goblin's just laughing about it.
The
Like
entire
this
time,
is exactly what I want you to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it reminded me a little bit of like the Joker wanting Batman to kill him, being like, "Yes, come on, kill me. That's what I want you to do because then you can never redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Like you do it."
Which
and
leads to one of your least favourite moments in the film.
where he tries to kill him.
He tries to kill him.
Yeah, picks up the
I just
blood.
don't. Something about it. I just.
You didn't like it anymore the second time.
No, I think it's because you get Aunt May telling him you've got to save them. Then you get her dying and telling him, great power gains responsibility. Then the other Peters tell him that, maybe it wasn't a sacrifice. You can learn this lesson. And then he ignores all of it and still tries to kill him. And I just don't. I feel like the whole point of you is to learn and be better. And he just ignores all of it and goes to kill him.
I think his rage takes over.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but I feel like it should be better than that.
Well, I don't because there was
just
the
don't
scene.
like
I
it.
noticed it the second time around when they're in the school making all the devices before they go to the final fight, and I think Andrew Garfield takes the serum for the lizard to go and make it.
Yeah.
When he puts them all out, he goes, Sandman, and he doesn't say Goblin, and he gives it to
Yeah.
and then Toby picks it up and
Says,
says,
"I've been thinking
we've
about
got,
this for
we've got to
years,
save them all.
Yeah, and then Peter sort of like he looks at him but doesn't really take it on board. He's still full of anger and rage.
Yeah,
It's like-
I remember Toby
Yeah.
says to him like, "We've got to save them all, right?" And looks
Yeah.
at him and he's like,
I think it's trying to refer to what happened with Toby's, where he went after the killer of Uncle Ben,
yeah.
and he indirectly made him fall over the pipe, fall out the window, and die.
Yeah.
And that is why Toby steps in to say, don't do the same mistake I did.
Yeah.
But I was hoping Tom would have learned that on his own rather than having to be literally forced to stop.
Yeah. I thought he would have done this and like nearly done it, or done it next to him like
Yeah.
Cap does in like.
Yeah, and that's what I
Civil
wanted him to
War.
do that and go, no, and rip it in half
Yeah, that would be
in
cool, yeah.
anger.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, he just goes through with it, and Toby, he literally has to stop.
Yeah, Toby
I
White
just-
jumps in front. And
But
just-
it
sits with me a bit uncomfortably with that.
But it does have that awesome moment where Toby, like, and the fact he doesn't even have to say anything to him, he just holds it, he just stares at him for like a good 30 seconds, being like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, and then Tom
Get stabbed.
realises it.
Because I thought, because when the two land, they land next to Ned and MJ, and they look at him beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I thought one of them was going to go, we need to go and help him.
And he goes, no,
And then the other one would say, no, he'll understand.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And I think that's the one thing that just griped me a little bit at the end.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That leads to Tobey Maguire getting stabbed,
Getting stabbed in the back by the goblin.
which isn't fatal because he's what's that line? I've been stabbed before.
Yeah.
I honestly thought when I did that, I was like,
You killed him.
You're not going to fucking kill him off.
Yeah.
Fuck you 100% up the arse if you can kill him off.
I think I said I don't want Tobey Maguire to die
No.
because it'll make him look like the hero.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
a Tom.
don't like him
Well,
that
it's a Tom Holland movie technically.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do it
Yeah,
that way.
no. But say they throw the serum and he fixes it. And then the fact that like they give the serum to Norman and he just like wakes up and he's like, what have I done?
Crap,
He
what
doesn't
have I done?
remember anything. It's just like, fuck. And he just sees Tom. I kind of was hoping he was going to, Toby, sorry. I was kind of hoping he was going to see like Peter laying on the floor and being like, Peter, like that. Being like, because he's still alive in his mind, being like, worried about him. He sort of doesn't really do anything.
And he knows it's his son's best friend.
Yeah, and he sort of just doesn't really react. He sort of just sits there going like, oh, Bruce Spacey.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you have Peter, Andrew, and Toby sort of stand up and being like, "All right, everything's good. Yeah, great.
Yeah. There's so much pain.
yeah, I'm really blood pain now. Yeah." And then you have the sort of
Well,
realization of the ending of
the only way to stop the spell is everyone forgets that people.
Now, does that affect Toby and Andrews? Because it really fucks up their universe.
Yeah, it'll fuck up both their universes if that's true. It affects all.
'Cause it has to. Because the whole reason why the rest of them from other universes coming in, because they know who Peter is. So when Tobey Maguire goes back to MJ, he's not going to know who he is.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
It has to, because otherwise, why would it? If it only affects that universe, why is everyone from other universes?
Is it because Tom Holland universe is the one that's breaking and the others aren't actually breaking, they're just coming through?
Yeah, but it's because they know that that's why they're coming through. So then them forgetting stops them coming through.
Yeah, true.
So that means his MJ and
I mean,
and,
I guess so,
and-
maybe, yeah.
So they're going to go back to Aunt May and be like, "Who the fuck are you? Get out of my house!"
Yeah, no, very true. Yeah, you think about that. That's fucked up everyone.
Yeah,
Because there is a line when he goes to them, and then Toby's like, "It's what we do."
Yeah,
Do they understand what he's just done, or are they just saying, "Thank you, for helping me out"?
yeah.
Because I was like, "You just fucked everything."
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they explain that away in either the next film or
it does
in
leave
other
it
films. 'Cause
widely open whilst containing it. Because, like I said to you guys, it's one of those spells that looks like it's fixed things on the surface.
Yeah,
But you can't paper over that without thinking.
yeah, and it's like the snap, right? Of bringing
Yeah.
everyone back, because it's like, oh, we brought everyone back, everything's great. But the fact they've redressed it in a lot of the shows post Endgame makes me think they're going to have to address.
But you may have forgotten who Peter Parker is, but
Because
the guy was in your
we
life.
were having this conversation like
So-
after we watched the first time, we were outside for over an hour talking about it, and we were talking back and forth about all the things that happened in all the movies, like Tom Holland ones especially, happened. He
Yep.
just never took his mask off, so no one actually knew who he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man
In
did
their
all those
mind,
things,
Yeah.
but no one knew it was Peter behind the
Yeah.
mask. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. But then there's like, how did Tony Stark ever find him?
Yeah, it's one of those things that
And like, all
as
this
soon
kind of
as
stuff.
somebody
Well, it doesn't matter because Tony's dead.
yeah.
Yeah, but like if no one ever knew who, and again you can't. They've done the whole Endgame back time thing, that going back in time and it wouldn't make a difference anyway because it doesn't affect it that way.
Yeah.
So it's very weird.
That's the thing, though.
Very weird.
It feels to me like they've left it in a very precarious place where
So is
anyone that notices that can see through the sort of brainwashing, that can notice that there's a thread to be pulled. As soon as you pull that thread, the whole thing's going to come.
Because does that mean like any photographs of him are gone, any
No.
documentation's gone,
You just,
any like
you
birth
don't-
certificate gone?
If Ross did it tomorrow, and then like you and I would turn up next week to react,
Yeah.
we wouldn't.
Would
even
all
know
our
who Ross
YouTube
was.
videos not have Ross in it?
But Ross would still be in the
Would it rewrite them? Like it's Sween. Like that's what I don't understand. We just us forget about Ross, but we watch these videos. Like fuck this guy in the middle. We never even heard of
Does
him.
Jonah Jameson still have the video that Mysterio sent them of him saying
Yeah.
Peter Parker Spider-Man?
Yeah, I don't know. I say, does it rewrite all that stuff as well? It's going to have to, right? It makes no
It
sense.
must do.
But then you've got the bit, because again, you can't go back in time, because I didn't notice this, but I watched the Easter egg thing from Rockstar something. But like at the end, Mary Jane's wearing the pendant still that Peter gave her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why would she be wearing that if she
Yeah.
didn't know who it was from? Like, so it's something in the back of her head still. I don't know. It's a very confusing thing. It's like, it sort of, yeah, as you say, it sort of makes sense at the time. Then you think about it, you're like, wait a minute.
That's what I think. That's why I think it's a very tenuous, because Doctor Strange had to cast it immediately to solve the problem of the universe is collapsing.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a quick fix rather than a proper fix. So anyone that notices or sees beyond that limitation is going to cause it to shatter again.
Yeah.
So
Really interesting. Yeah, I guess that may be why things, maybe Multiverse of Madness will just make it undo anyway.
but that leads to more heartbreak for Peter as MJ forgets who he is.
Yeah. Well, I guess he, like the moment where he sort of goes down to Andrew and Toby and get their all hug. It's like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, love you guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, guys are awesome. Yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
such a cool moment. And so yeah, she says, MJ says, I love you, and she says, don't say it now. I'll say it when you come and find
It's
me.
weird though, right? Why does he swing away? Why would you not just stay there and go? And she'll go, "What the hell is this?" And then you can sit there and explain it. Doesn't make any sense why you would
I
just
don't know.
zip away.
I don't know.
So I go, I'll tell you later. Well, you could just tell me now. See, if you woke up and then the whole, the Stamp is destroyed and everything, and then you start explaining it would make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, if you go to a coffee shop and tell her,
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
like,
well, that way he couldn't have had that choice of being like,
yeah. I
of
mean,
being
that's
like-
obviously why, because he decided to change it. But it was a bit
he's
weird.
like, actually, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell either of you because when you're around me, you get
Yeah,
hurt. So
yeah.
I'm leaving you to it. And
That,
I
that
guess,
seemed to be what the conclusion came to, because he was right at the end. He goes back to the coffee shop with his prepared speech to Michelle
Yeah.
to say, "Oh, okay, I'm Peter and that sort of stuff."
Yeah.
And he sees how they're getting on, sees the scar on her head and how much she must have hurt her, and he kind of like sort of decides to. I don't know. I can't decide whether he's decided not to tell them that way and still try and reintroduce himself into her life, because they have the whole speech about disappointment,
yeah.
which is something they had earlier in the film. Or whether he's just decided to give up entirely and carry on, let them get on with their lives.
No, because I don't know if he's going to MIT or not. If he goes to MIT with them,
Yeah.
then he can obviously introduce, like, sit next
I
to
think
them.
the letter he had was from MIT.
Yeah.
Because there's.
But how if he doesn't exist anymore? Like a loophole.
Well, like you said, maybe like his application's still there, and it's like, oh, Peter Parker, yeah, all the things right.
Yeah,
They
the
don't know who
admissions
he
office
is.
would just know that he's.
They
Peter
forget he's
Parker.
Spider-Man.
They don't know he's Spider-Man.
And they
He's
just
just-
see a
he's
name on
He's
an
just a
application
he's just a person now.
Yeah.
and then
Like, that's what I'm hoping it's like, because I'm hoping he goes to MIT, because that's what he does in the comics, right? He's in MIT. They're both there, but they just don't know, so maybe he tries to somehow get in their lives normally.
But something I noticed as well, just before we talk about the end of the film, when he goes to his new apartment, and after he's settled the stuff up in there, he's got another one of the coffee cups
Yes.
next to his typewriter, so he's obviously gone back there a few times.
That's the same one. But yeah.
Well, no, because he comes into the apartment and he's just like got all his stuff there in boxes.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the scene where he's making his new costume
Hell yeah.
with a but then his apartment's all set up around him, and it's Christmas.
Oh, okay,
So-
fine, yes, time's passed.
Time's passed.
So yeah, he keeps going back to the coffee shop, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he could just want to be friends as Peter Parker.
Yeah, so I mean,
And
he, sort of
nobody knows
introduces,
it's
he just
like-
sort of introduces himself as hi, I'm Peter Parker, hi, I'm Ned, like, get to know each other from the scratch. He has all that
The
background
thing is, I
knowledge.
don't know. There's a part of me that makes, because when they go to the crypt and he goes, "Oh, I need help," and they bring MJ and Ned down, and she's explaining, "Oh yeah, it's not too bad, but it'd be nice if you consulted us before." And when it's Ned's like, "I don't really care, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter." So like, why would you not just tell Ned
Mm.
and be a friend? It's a bit-
Don't know.
Hmm.
I guess he's at that part junction, but it does do an amazing job. Now, what we were really sort of excited about as we left the film the first time is that it resets the whole story for Spider-Man, or it just makes it like a 3-movie origin story of now he is Spider-Man in the blue and red normal costume, no Stark tech, no one knows who he is.
It is a bit shiny though.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the one bad thing about the suit.
But the blue's very shiny.
Yeah, it's very red. It's like they've literally just gone with pure lycra
Yeah.
because he can't afford anything else.
So maybe
Yeah.
we'll see what it's like in the next
Yeah.
movie, I guess. But it was
If
cool.
he's in the next movie, don't know.
There you go. So it's like it looked pretty cool. He's swinging across New York.
Yeah.
With like Spider-Man is a hero, I guess. Is he half villain, half hero still?
I guess
I think they still know he.
Jameson's still
People
rattling
think
on
he
about it.
killed Mysterio.
So it's still the half
but they
thing.
just don't know it's Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still the half thing. But he's going around now by himself, no help, no Tony Stark, no Stark Industries.
No, yeah, but the film's underlying score is meaning sort of him becoming an adult from
Yeah.
being a boy.
Yeah.
So he has become
Fully
Spider-Man
independent.
because of all the tragedy and everything he's overcome to go through to that point. Even Doctor Strange does it as well when he comes up with the conclusion to solve the spell is to make everyone forget I'm Peter. This is your good life is going to be over. Everyone's going to forget who you are, including the people that love you. Including he even sort of mentions subtly that he loves him as well.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a shame he wasn't in that Ned's house when he heard the other two saying, "No, you've got to have a secret identity."
Yeah.
And that's where he got the idea from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was cool ending to an awesome film.
And then there was a couple of fun credit sequences. We just touched on briefly.
Yes, there was. Yes, there was. So the mid credits one was
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock, which was a weird one.
It sort of follows on from the end credit scene of Venom 2, which is a terrible film. Sorry, I watched it again before I came out.
It's like a long trailer. It's really weird.
Yeah.
The
movie. It's so short. That's the thing that got me about it. I was like, really? This is it?
But at the end of that, he's sucked into the MCU. And then the end credits scene is just him trying to figure out what the hell's going on with the flying Tin Man and all that kind of stuff. And then he immediately gets sucked back into the his own universe, but he leaves a little glob of what looks like Venom behind. So I presume that's setting that up for that.
Because I think the thing I said when I said it doesn't make any sense, because he doesn't... The whole reason why other people are in that universe because they know who Peter is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who Peter is.
Yeah.
But the symbiote is one hive mind. Which obviously we know the symbiote... Yeah, exactly. The symbiote knows at least Toby from Spider-Man 3. And then you obviously other universes. And it's the symbiote that transferred over, not Eddie.
Because he's unconscious.
It could potentially even be that the Peter Parker of that universe hasn't become...
Well, that's Spider-Man. The thing. I think, like, he said, I need to go to New York then and find this Spider-Man. I'm hoping that's what he does in his universe. And that's what starts it off.
Yeah, and finds Andrew Garfield.
Or whoever,
Could very well be.
Don't give my hopes up.
Don't do this, man. Don't give me hope.
Don't give me hope. Sorry.
And then you got the very end credit scene was the trailer for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Which is really cool.
Bananas.
Yeah, I mean, you guys haven't watched the What If series, have you?
Not yet.
So the Doctor Strange What If episode could have a character created in that episode that was in that trailer. It was quite interesting. I was like, oh wait, is that person maybe? But it looks really cool. I mean, it's nice to have Wanda back anyway, and just them two working. It looked like, because I thought that she was going to be like a villain, but it looks like them two potentially working together. And maybe there's obviously like an evil version of Doctor Strange as the bad guy. Maybe there'll be an evil version of Wanda as well because of the multiverse.
That's obviously going to carry on what we've been talking about with the way the spell works.
Yeah,
like it clearly hasn't worked properly because it's all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah, the multiverse is still breaking.
I thought that evil Doctor Strange was going to be Kang. It's the same room, right?
I can't remember. I watched it once.
I thought it was like Kang manipulating to what he looks like to look like Doctor Strange to blame him.
Maybe
that's a bit because I swear that was the same room where Kang was in Loki.
Loki.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was a very similar looking room.
I thought it was a Sanctum when I was watching it, but maybe
it might be.
No, it was very quick and
it
was
so fast.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm looking forward to that film. I love Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange in every film he does. So
there's that scene as well when they go to the crypt and MJ finds the goatee.
Thing.
Little things like that. It's funny.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And the fact that he's not Sorcerer Supreme anymore as well is quite cool.
Yeah,
got it. On account of being technicality. Yeah. That was good. So it's just certain right moments of laughter and
they balanced it quite well between humour and tragedy.
They got a really good. I think Marvel in general got a really good way of being like you've got great action, great comedy, and really emotional stakes.
Well, it says a lot that this film has a sort of roundabout, last time I checked, 99% critics audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, about 95% critic score.
Yeah. So the last thing I was going to bring up leads into that is obviously for us being like mid-30s. We love the film because we got all the references. We grew up with the movies, right?
Something I
if you're gonna watch, if you're like young, like you like 15.
So if you only started watching from Iron Man,
if you've never watched the other movies, right? How would you take this film? Like, would you wouldn't understand half of it? You'd be like, wait, what's going on? Like, or you'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy it, but you wouldn't understand like all the references, all the callbacks.
You'd probably be able to understand. Okay, these are other Spider-Men.
And then the bad guys as well, though, right? Like, it's like the bad guys. Because
I did see a couple of reviews who they talk about it like this. It's like, okay, do you think this film is as good as it is in your mind because it's a nostalgia fest?
Yeah,
like we got more out of it because we know all that stuff.
Yes,
than someone like who came into it. I can kind of see the point, but I'd also like to think that it stands on its own merit.
I don't know. It's been interesting. I need to speak to someone who I say my oldest. I can't remember if she's seen. I may have shown her the old Spider-Man films, but I don't know if she ever paid attention. So I kind of want her to watch it and get her thoughts on like, what do you think of the old Spider-Man? And she'll be like,
it might make you go back and watch them if you haven't seen them.
But then which is cool. But then you don't like watching it for the first time. You don't get that whole like, oh my god, it's blah, 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 and then get the excitement thing. So it's just an interesting thought I had when I was watching, when I was talking to people about it. I was like, yeah, because if you've never seen the other Spider-Man movies, what would your thoughts be? I mean,
Yeah,
it's still a good film, but you wouldn't get all the little sort of nods and callbacks. So maybe you go back and watch those films and you watch it again, you're like, oh yeah. It's the same with Endgame. Like, it had so many callbacks to all the other films.
Yeah.
And I don't say that's the thing that made it great, but it's helped it be better than if you had never seen any other film, just watched Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, but if you went straight in and watched Endgame without watching anything else,
Well, like, if you
what the hell is going on?
if you just went in and watched, like, I don't know, Infinity War Endgame was like a 2-part.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
We
get
just watched the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
yeah. You wouldn't have got any of this other sort of canon stuff. It's just an interesting thought I had when I was watching other people reviewing it, because most people are.
I mean,
mid-30s.
if Andrew or Toby walking in, you'd be like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, who's this? It's another
And
Spider-Man.
then, like, when he goes, "Oh, I lost my Gwen,"
Yeah.
like, who the fuck's Gwen?
Yeah.
It won't mean anything to
No,
you.
exactly.
The whole
Him saving MJ and crying. Like, why the fuck's Spider-Man crying about that?
yeah. You won't. It will go over people's heads. So
Yeah.
100%.
But I'd like to think that the people who maybe in their early teens who started out with Iron Man have looked for other movies in the Marvel franchise and found the Spider-Man films.
Yeah, but then you got these arrogant people that are like, oh, it's not the MCU, so I'm not going to watch it. So I was kind of like, I would never watch the X-Men movies or all this other stuff. Like, a lot of people haven't watched the Netflix shows, so like, Matt Murdock showing up would have meant fuck all to them.
Yeah.
We're like, fucking what? Was it D'Onofrio?
No, I can appreciate that. This, like Infinity War and Endgame, this is made for the fans.
Oh yeah, massive.
I don't want to use that phrase because that was a Justice League thing, wasn't it? It's
made for the fans.
But like, you will get more out of this if you have
watched everything.
I say it's people like sort of between, I guess late 20s or maybe late 30s to mid 30s onwards.
Yeah.
So like we're mid 30s, we totally get it because we went and saw all the Spider-Man films in the cinema. Like I went and watched. I think like in my head when superhero films sort of became popular and like more, but was when like the X-Men films came out. That was like the first one I went to cinema and watched, and I was like, "Fuck me, that was really good." And actually, loads of people that weren't nerds watched it and was like, "Oh, it's a really good film." That's then it was the Raimi Spider-Man films, and that sort of cascaded from there. And then the MCU came around.
Yeah.
But like for a lot of other people, it's like, "Oh yeah, no, Iron Man 1's the first superhero film ever, and like nothing else counts." It's like you're missing so much stuff, so much. So
First one is Superman 1978.
well, like for Marvel, I meant.
Oh, Marvel.
Yeah, sorry, I meant for Marvel movies. Because you had like the Daredevil, Elektra, Blade movies.
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. Like Fantastic Four was after.
Technically, Blade's the first one.
Yeah, but they were like sort of low. I'd say low budget.
It was 18 R-rated, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't have seen it.
Exactly, and then you got the sort of. I can't remember when Daredevil, Elektra came out. I think they were after X-Men, but before Spider-Man.
No, way after Spider-Man.
You think?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, because Spider-Man was huge.
Spider-Man, it was X-Men, then it was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man blew up.
Then it was X2.
Yeah.
I reckon it was around Spider-Man 2, might have even been after Spider-Man. When did Spider-Man 1 was in 2001.
Because they had to change the end scene because of 9/11.
Yeah, and then...
So Daredevil was 2003.
Yeah. So when was Spider-Man 2? That was around the same time. Was that... I can't remember if it was a year or 2 years
2004.
after.
So that came out before Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, because X-Men would have been in between then as well.
It was X2.
2003, same as Daredevil.
And X1 was 2000,
2000,
right?
Yeah.
And Electro was a year after Daredevil?
I think so. 2005, 3 years.
And when was Fantastic Four?
2005. So same year as Electro.
Yeah.
Because I remember Spider-Man being Tobey Maguire's first film being huge. So
yeah.
that would have been when Marvel was farming out its properties to try and make money, and Fox was buying everything up it could get its hands on.
Yes.
And Sony was as well.
Yeah.
So
this is just interesting.
that's why I fully put my hands up and say, I think I enjoyed this as much as I did because I loved the original.
Well, you would. I say it's 100%. That's why. As I say, I'm just really interested to speak to people.
But I think the important thing is that it didn't just take those characters for fan service and throw them at you on the screen. They had a plot and a point for being there.
Yeah. I guess if
they were tied into the story.
If you'd seen Into the Spider-Verse, you would have got the point of them being there because it's like I guess people like the MCU would have watched Into the Spider-Verse.
I wonder how much that played into this movie.
I think a lot because the tone, the humour and tone between the three Spider-Men in this, feels a lot like the way that the ones in Into the Spider-Verse were acted. They must have seen.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe I mean I don't know how far ahead Marvel writes, right? Because they could have been thinking about this for ages. The fact that they planned out Vincent D'Onofrio showing up in Hawkeye and this film coming out the same week. Is some scheduling.
It was the same day.
So, same day. Because we saw it a day later, didn't we? Yeah, so same day is like a big planning thing. And they must have obviously filming Spider-Man for like a long time. So
because obviously when they filmed the last one, it was reveal who Peter is.
Yeah.
Did they know that was going to be the thing, or did they
don't know.
just work it into the story?
Don't know. I mean, it could have been a reshoot that Matt Murdock thing. Couldn't it? I mean, it's quite easy to do. It's like a 2-minute scene, but yeah, it's just. I think they know, especially because I know a lot of people that I used to speak to about Marvel films. As soon as Endgame was over, it's like, well, I'm done with the MCU now. That's the arc done. I'm not going to watch anymore.
And frankly, the last few films that come out for Phase 4, I've not really.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man: No Far From Home I thought was pretty good, and sort of like the sort of epilogue of that story. But a lot of other people since then are like, nah, I can't bother to watch anymore. So it's kind of a shame that they're losing fans. But you look like Shang-Chi was amazing.
But this is the second highest movie.
Yeah, I know. Well, now. So this one's the first big one since Endgame.
But it's a big character, isn't it?
The Eternals didn't do much.
What's the other ones come out?
Black Widow.
I enjoyed Black Widow, but it was just it should have been released after Civil War.
Yeah, that should have been. Well, it should have been ages ago, and it got hampered by its weird release schedule on Disney+.
It should have been. Yeah. It should have been done before Endgame, because like killing her off and then bringing her back.
Infinity War.
Yeah, before Infinity War. And then Shang-Chi I really enjoyed. I really liked.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. Again, someone watching the Easter eggs thing. You know the guy on the bus in Shang-Chi is doing the video.
Yeah,
he's the same guy in Homecoming. He says, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a backflip." He does it on the hot dog stand. Same guy. I did not realise that. But yeah, I can't remember what other films have come out. But yeah, it's kind of weird sort of going through these other characters now. But we said we were talking about in Hawkeye before we did this that they're obviously having to cycle through everyone now because all the original Avengers like Phase 1, 2, 3 characters are pretty much all gone now. You've got all these new ones you have to bring in. So it's interesting. It's interesting the company's still pushing for it. So
well, it kind of you said at least Spider-Man in its own little thing now. It can go with Sony. It can go with Marvel.
It's not tied to any MCU.
Reset him back to being soft rebooted him back into a different character.
Yes.
So
I think that's my second favourite thing about it. That everything that they got wrong doesn't matter now.
Yeah. Exactly. Good film.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
100%. Good film. So, really good film. Look forward to seeing it again.
Well, it's made a ludicrous amount of money without even being in China.
Yeah, well, the fact that the pandemic is going on and like it's quite a lot of people.
Oh god, yeah! When we saw it the first time around, it was packed.
Yeah, and like even in America, like, but say watching the reviews, it's like you wouldn't know a pandemic's going on, but like every other film is very empty. But this is
half the argument I had at the start. Is like, okay, are those people here because it's Spider-Man and they want to go and see a Spider-Man film, or have they been hyped up by all these trailers and want to see what's going on?
Don't know.
Probably next year.
Yeah, interesting to find out. Cool. Well, we've spoken for like way too long. If you
guys
are still watching now, congratulations. You probably had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We want to know exactly what you guys think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, comment below. Let us know your thoughts on this movie. What did you think about it? What was your favourite part? Who was your favourite Spider-Man? Who was your favourite villain? What do you want to see happen in the future? Do you want to know?
Who was your favourite villain?
Green Goblin. 100%. He's great.
I did like Doc Ock as well.
I liked his redemption, but I just like William Dafoe being proper Green Goblin.
Green Goblin
was good
with the purple hoodie.
Yeah, and just being saving his face, and he's just being that villainous, horrible person trying to teach you a lesson, even though you don't want it. It was great. But yeah, like who was your? I mean, do you guys want more Tom Holland movies, or do you want instead an Andrew Garfield, or as well as an Andrew Garfield movie now? Or do you want Tobey Maguire to do another one? Like, who would be your favourite one to come back and do the next Spider-Man film? Love to hear your thoughts, guys. Hope you listen to us waffle on about how much we love this film. Please, if you're watching this right now, and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. We really need to. Any way we can make this channel grow is with your help. So click on that subscribe button. Tell your friends about us. Share this link. And we're also doing reactions as well. So we've just finished Hawkeye, which should be up hopefully when this is out. And we'll be coming back for some Superman and Lois in the new. We got Book of Boba Fett coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Finishing off Doom Patrol, doing Young Justice, other stuff in the new year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys very soon.